Hello, kittens. Now, who says that? Well, anyway, you're probably wondering why I'm here instead of back there on my dining room table, because that's where I normally start. Two reasons. First of all, this is a quick recipe and most of the action comes here. And the second reason is that I have a laptop computer halfway disassembled on my dining room table, so we can't start there. Let's get started. Granola is very expensive and very tasty, and I'll show you how to make it really cheap. To start, half a cup of brown sugar. Put it into a large pan. To this you add, and you'll have to, I'll hold it up to the camera here. This is a third of a cup of honey. Oops, well, I'll hold up to the camera here. Hello, can you see me? Well, there's two liquids here. A third of a cup of honey, 1/3 cup peanut oil. Get this in here. Turn on the heat. We don't want to boil this. We just want to make it so that the sugar dissolves. Alright, this is ready. Here, I'll show you. It's actually not dissolved. It's actually it's a suspension, not a solution. But you can see I can stir it around easily. The sugar doesn't clump together. We're ready for the next step, which is 3/4 of a teaspoon of cinnamon and a half cup of powdered milk. Stir it in. Get it nice and mixed up. You don't need to do any fancy mixing. You just stir it till it's mixed. Then, half cup of pecans chopped. Now, to save money, I buy the big giant bag at Costco, and then I chop them up. And actually, this looks better that way because then you got big pieces and little pieces, so it kind of gives a more homemade look to it. Put that in. You can turn off the heat now. Oop. Stragglers. Stir this until it's mixed. Then, one last ingredient. 5 cups of oatmeal. And I like to add this in 2 stages. Well, makes it easier that way. So put half of it in there. And you want to stir to coat. Ooh, some oats went flying. Salvage the pride. Salvage the pride. The other half. And that's another thing too. I gotta learn to set these things down gently. Either that or get some padding, because as you probably heard in my last videos, crunk! We're done with this. Get a pan, grease it, and just pour it on. And what you want to do is bake this in the oven. Bake it at 375 degrees for 10 minutes. Then you take it out, stir it up, and then you put it in for another 5 minutes. So let's get this started. I'll see you in 10 minutes. 10 minutes later, and it's starting to brown. Let's get a little nice close shot here. What you do, just stir it up. You don't want the whole outside to become brown and the inside to stay, well, oatmeal colored. Just stir it up and put it back in for another 5 minutes. There. 5 minutes have passed. Let's take it out. And what we need to do is just stir it up and then let it sit for 20 minutes and cool down before we can break it apart. Now, plastic glove time. Time to separate this. Here you go. And just what you need to do, just get, actually I use the same pan I mixed this stuff up in. And just grab some. Okay. Yeah, this one's actually pretty good. But it's starting to clump up. Just grab it, break it up into this pan here. And actually this batch came out pretty good. Some batches I had to really go, but this one actually came out pretty good. Yeah, hardly any work here. Okay. Now at this point, some people add like raisins or dates or other kinds of fruits. I usually do that right before I eat it because, well, it's a lot easier to add than to pick out if you don't want. And sometimes I want to eat it plain. And also when I give it as a gift, I just put a bag of granola and then a little pouch of fruits, maybe 2. That way they can choose to use them or not also. But this is an easy batch. Hey, look at this. This pecan survived the grinder. I don't know how. Almost whole. It's like 3/4 of a pecan. Pecan half. Now, normally at this time, I would say it's time to find victims, but I'm going to try something a little different. And I'll meet you in the cutting room.